So that means
Fantasy Flight.
So that means it's gonna have like 700 punchable chits.
Well, that's
right?
the box. The box is
The box is the punchable chit. All right, yes.
You make punchable chits out of the box.
Dude, how much money could they save if they did that?
Well, you got to think of transport, how much they get knocked out. You'd be losing pieces.
Well, you're wrapping them all in plastic anyway.
I think the bigger business proposition is reusable shrink wrap, or somehow to recycle shrink wrap.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, look, I gave you a news bit.
Oh yeah, it's not like it was in every single news blog or anything.
Right, right.
What?
Mhm.
Oh, that
Ticket to
thing
Ride
no one's gonna
London.
care about.
Actually, Ashley was interested.
I care about it. I asked
Well.
him to ask for a review copy. You should also ask for a review. Oh, we're
Take
live.
2.
Nope, doesn't matter.
We're live.
Cindy, and it's gone. Well, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some money out of your dad's account. We're gonna put it, and it's gone.
It's gone. It's all gone.
Sorry, sir. This line is for people who have money at the bank. Please leave. Thank you.
I did really appreciate that in your blog when you referenced Wingspan for that.
Oh yeah.
And we're pre-ordering a copy of Wingspan, and they're gone.
That's what. So literally, I have an app that has it's people use it all.
It's a meme generator.
It's a meme generator, and so you can look at sort by popular.
Are you talking about his Wingspan post?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. The about gaming.
Do
being
we
popular.
want? Yeah.
Hey, Eric.
What's that?
Hello.
But I put so literally I just look at there and then just find a meme like I can make something out of this.
We have 2 Erics. I just noticed. I mean, not right now,
Unless he
But-
changed his name.
because there's this Eric, and then there's Eric Shearer as well.
Oh yeah.
The Erics like us.
How do we know it's not just one Eric with 2 accounts?
Da-da-da.
Identify yourself.
I'm okay with that though.
Enter the CAPTCHA.
Who was the other person that won? Because the
Uh,
one guy emailed us.
Yes. But it's been less than a week.
No,
so.
I know.
Click all pictures that show a road sign.
Oh my gosh.
You want me to open the
yes.
box while we're letting Philip give a second?
Yeah, go for it.
What? You can start me. You do whatever you want.
Well, I was just giving you a second.
1,000. Time's up.
I got a Fantasy Flight box here.
Paper.
All right, that's all that was in the box. Oh,
Yep.
And plastic.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Star Wars Legion Imperial Death Troopers. Look at this.
Cool.
Look at those bad boys.
Woo! I gotta back up a little bit. There we go. Oh, okay, it's more the helmets that make the
Yeah.
difference. Because I was like, really, you can just
Whoa.
take any stormtrooper unit and like, I'm gonna paint this guy black. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give him the little.
Well, it's also probably the equipment it comes with. I'm assuming it comes with like more tactical stuff.
What was the trooper in episode 7? Everyone was like, "Oh yeah!" It was like the guy, one with the stick.
Oh, they called him. I don't know if this
The
is
one with
actually
the stick.
officially true.
Hey, Jay.
But they.
Yeah, what was he being called?
He was being called TR8R.
He
Freighter.
was.
Trader. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And then we have Director Orson Krennic.
Ah, yes.
I'm gonna build a Death Star. Yay!
I
Also,
saw a picture of that guy recently.
Yeah, he's played he played a good guy in something.
Oscar,
he
you
plays
want a
good
box?
guys and bad
That
guys.
sounds accurate.
Yeah.
That could be something.
Oh, thank you.
He kind of reminds me of like a cross between 2 people. I can't think of the name right now of the second person.
Oscar's intrigued.
As he should be.
He's
a
like,
cat, and there's a box. Sven would be more interested in the paper than the box.
I'd say
right now he's just rubbing his face on the box.
I'd say
Seabass would jump in the box. Sven would attack
cross
the paper.
between Sir Ian McKellen and Jack Bauer, whoever that
Who?
is.
What are you
I can't think of his name right now. Who plays Jack Bauer?
Oh, that's right. He was under a bunch of makeup in Captain Marvel.
Jack Bauer. Is that the guy from
Oh
24?
no!
Yeah.
Yes, Kiefer
That's
Sutherland.
Kiefer
That's
yeah,
it, yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Like
I'm
he looks like a blend between the 2.
Mm,
Yeah, I knew it was the guy that was in
I see it.
that movie with the boy that had the special powers.
Yeah, Touch.
Yeah, that movie or that show.
First season was awesome. Second season, blue.
Yeah.
Then we stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we didn't even finish.
And then the
second
show
season.
stopped.
Right now, Oscar's just pushing his face up against the box, like he's left the box, or he's not left the box. He
Does he
walked away
fits?
from the box. I think that was what he was looking at. He was like, I don't know if I fits. I mean, he does,
So no sits.
but it's like I don't know if he wants to.
Excuse you. This is all her.
I figured.
I'm going to start slapping hands. Don't tap me. I will do it.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Are we ready to kick this pig?
Hang on. What are you doing?
Squeeze.
Stop. It's my board. I'm the master.
That doesn't do anything. I just hit the wrong button. I hit X.
So what about when I talk about Renegade Games?
I am on it now. I changed the hotkey.
He changed it to R.
Yeah, I know.
So what's
Would you stop?
Do I need to separate you two?
Maybe.
Philip, I need you to switch places. She just starts She just starts slapping all the keys.
So what's number 1 now?
There's nothing.
It should be.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
can't mistake it for anything.
There we go. All right. See, that's his plan all along.
You're a jerk.
It goes from 0 to 2.
What's 0?
The
And
show.
It's the theme music.
0.3 seconds.
What's 2?
You don't need to know.
No, that's what it is. He recorded himself saying, "You don't need to know." He pushes the 2. You don't need to know.
Would you stop? If you reach gently, maybe you would actually make it.
Gotta sneak your way in. You can't just.
I think everyone's just having fun, like.
Right.
Stop. Now you know, okay?
And knowing is half the battle.
There.
Wait, so knowing's half the battle
Yes.
and knowledge is power. So power is half the battle?
There you go.
What's the other half?
Winning.
No, everyone gets a participation trophy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's 2019.
So if power is half the battle, then
Defense is the other half of the battle.
Were those both on the same show, those statements?
No, I think no.
One
the
was
power
G.I.
is
Joe.
yours was
The power is
Captain
yours. No,
Planet.
That's
it's
Captain
knowledge
Planet.
is power.
knowledge is power. Where was knowledge is power?
I feel like knowledge is power is like an NBC short, like in between.
Still G.I. Joe?
I don't know. G.I. Joe was knowing's half the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge is power was also like Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh,
Sir Francis Bacon was the
Yeah.
first person attributed to the phrase "knowledge is power."
Oh, that's not.
yeah. That's not like a.
In
90s
1876.
And that person's related to Kevin Bacon.
There we go.
Boom. Circle. 6 degrees. Got it. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Cindy, are you ready? Or you still need to hit the keyboard?
I've put it out of reach.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I was having so much trouble last week
Is
on
that
the
a
show because I
your
was like,
It was Schoolhouse Rock. So there you go.
You nailed it.
I nailed it.
Is it out of your reach though?
I-
no.
She's
'cause
got
you have
short
He
arms.
has long.
abnormally large arms. Yeah.
I'm just short in general. My
Well,
arm span is the
I'm
same
basically a
size
gorilla.
as my height. I'm just short.
I think that's that way for everybody.
It is. Exactly.
Except for Colin.
No, his is
What's
the
that
same.
one monster in the Bugs Bunny cartoons? He's got like, he drags his hands on the floor as he's walking.
I thought that was like Frankenstein Bunny, like when
Oh, yeah.
when he drinks the
He goes to time travel back to like the
or
Stone
that
Age.
or the
There we go. Much more comfortable.
Yeah, he becomes a monster.
when drinking that what's the thing the,
like a
the
potion.
Mr.
Elixir.
Doctor
Dr. Elixirs.
no Hyde
Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll Mr. Hyde
Yeah,
yeah
think you're right.
Oh. All right, we can start now.
blah, 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 board games Western suck. Okay, I'm ready.
There we go.
Whatever.
Yeah, your little warm-up exercise.
All right, start in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is sponsored by Easy Roller Dice. Go check out their great dice and other gaming accessories by going to easyrollerdice.com.
You want to just try it again?
I mean, I could.
That fade out button was you put too long between them. I thought it was like, oh right, we're done.
Oh,
So
you had
The
more
click
to
to
say?
fade thing
Yeah.
doesn't get affected by the mute button. I just hit mute to like make it stop, and it was like, no, we're still fading.
Oh no! Wait. So what happened?
He was gonna say something
I was
else.
gonna talk and
About
also
the Patreon.
All right,
I feel like you should just keep this in.
we could do that. Okay. You try. You
Where
want
am I starting now?
This podcast.
I'm all
beginning?
Nope.
Very beginning?
Nope.
Top
Too
of the
late.
show?
Everyone's watching. We're past this. It's done. The moment has passed.
No, we're starting over.
Just
All
start
right,
this.
starting over.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
This podcast is sponsored by Easy Roller Dice. Go check out their great dice and gaming accessories by going to easyrollerdice.com. Also sponsored by our Patreon. Go show us some support and love and awesome stuff by going to patreon.com/boardsandswords. Live from Swordplay Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
Woo! Second time's the charm.
Let's do the wave.
We got a funky ocean.
Oh, sorry. I'm waiting for it to fade out. I'm used to other things. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we talk about and have fun talking about board games. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw.
Hey there, everybody. What's going on? This is Philip.
I am Cindy.
I'm Collin. And despite what other people say, I'm not quite the screw-up that I have set out to be.
What was with the yelling into the microphone?
I couldn't hear myself. I still can't hear myself over the music.
Oh.
Believe me, it's much quieter in the recording.
It really
Okay.
is. It's so quiet in the recordings.
Ah, not at that point.
Dome.
All right, so
Uh-huh.
this is weird. I don't know why I'm just off today. I posted in the show. When I posted the show, I was like, I hope Collin and Cindy played games.
We did play a couple, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I acted like I didn't know what you were going to talk about.
Sure.
But anyways, before we get to that, I got to take this out because this is about to fall down. I wanted to talk briefly, I guess, or do you want me to talk? Do we want to talk about Unpub briefly after the news, or
Oh, that's right. That happened after the
Oh,
last
it
show.
did happen
Yeah.
after the last show.
let's do news first?
Okay.
It's also we have a shorter news segment today because I just couldn't find anything worth talking about. Like there was stuff, but I have a couple things here. But these are all. It's like generic insert game I'm interested in. Insert game Collin Cindy's interested in. And insert Renegade Games title. That's like how you make the news right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She was nudging you because I said I said the name Renegade Games.
You did. It was just like fluid. There
And I
was no
just said
time for
it
me to get
again.
in there.
I just said it again.
You did?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear you that time.
Yeah. Anyways.
I've learned to stop listening.
So, Clone Wars. The Clone Wars are coming to Star Wars Legion.
Is that right?
Starting with the Clone Wars core set, you'll be able to play as the Separatists or the Galactic Republic in Fantasy Flight Games' Star Wars Miniatures game. Still no word yet if there's a scenario where you see who blows up Jar Jar first.
That was good. Topical.
Days of Wonder has announced Ticket to Ride London, a new standalone game in the series that, like Ticket to Ride New York, is designed to play in under 20 minutes. Here's my question. When do we get like Ticket to Ride Gen Con where you have to plan routes to get all the games from all the different Asmodee booths on the dealer floor? Also, other jokes I could have made is this is the first time that an expansion's come to London instead of London being the expansion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Other jokes I could have made was if this game doesn't do well, will they Brexit from the series?
Oh.
That I spent a couple of trying to figure out where I was going to go on that one.
I liked your original one. It was good.
That's why it's in there.
That was good.
Too soon, man.
All right.
Or not soon enough. I don't know. When it,
And Eric's right. They need to make a Letterkenny game, although I don't know what it would be. It would probably be a party
yes.
game. It would probably be something like That's Not Lemonade, but
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I don't know. Maybe unless Eric's referring to, are they going to make like a Letterkenny Ticket to Ride? You got to go from the church to the ag hall to the dollar store.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Ticket to Ride London though, because
I bet.
it's very similar to Ticket to Ride New York, which
It
I very
has
much
the words
enjoy.
"Ticket to Ride" in it, so
Yes, but I enjoy the
Oh, yeah, it does
aspect
make
of
sense.
Ticket to Ride New York. But this one, instead of having the
taxis. It's got the double-decker buses.
yes, but instead of having the like points of interest where you score points if you go to certain cities, this one has you score points if you go to every city that's in a district. And each district, depending on how many cities are in it, gives you, a certain number of points.
I didn't actually get to see that part.
It's pretty cool.
Mm.
So it's like a different way of scoring in addition to your tickets and your train
Well, there's got to be something
routes.
different.
Yeah, it's
Otherwise,
really cool.
why buy it?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's neat. I think it'll be cool.
And then last, Time Chase is a new trick-taking game coming soon from Renegade Games. In this game, you can use time travel to travel back to previous tricks and change the outcome. I don't know how I feel about this. The good news is that you can go back in time and kill its grandfather if it sucks.
Oh my gosh. So what did you say the name was?
Time Chase. And Dennis says hi, so hello,
Okay.
Dennis.
Because that says Time Clash.
Oh,
Which one is it?
I have no idea.
Something time.
I was really confused, Chris.
I don't know which one's right.
I think the hyperlink
It says
is
Time
right.
Chase in the hyperlink, so we'll go with that.
So I was right. Okay, when I read it right. I just typed it wrong. By the way, we have an update. Oscar is in the box now.
All right.
He has fits and he has sits. I need a little cat camera. So, all right. So Unpub.
Unpub.
Yeah, Unpub.
Philip didn't go because he was working.
It was fun.
Yeah, we played some good games this year,
Yes.
like structurally sound. I mean, they were all in
Yes.
prototype, like very early prototype
Well,
for
not
most
the
of
one.
them. Most of them.
Yeah.
I played like a total of 3 games there.
We only played 4. and-
Right, but I was there.
But you were
a
there longer than
lot
us, yeah.
longer than y'all.
Yeah.
I was there like 12 hours,
Wow. Yeah.
but I was more hanging out than I was.
we were there like 12 to 5:30, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
But from 4 to 5:30, we
Was
were
it
just chatting.
4:30
with
to
people.
5:30. Yeah, we were finishing up a game at 4
Oh, true.
when
Yeah,
the
it
time
was.
slot ended.
It was so good.
I played a mini golf game. I played an actual golf game that used dice.
Yeah, we played
Yeah.
that too.
That's right. You were the ones that told me about
yeah,
it.
that was the
Mhm.
first thing he and I tried. Colin and I tried.
Yeah, you choose a different, like a colored dice that represents your club, and there's like
Yeah.
different likelihoods of where distance and how much
Mhm.
it fades or
Yeah, it was really cool.
slices.
It
or-
was kind of like a mixture of dexterity and, dice rolling. It was neat.
Yeah, dexterity. You flick it at the end.
Yeah, when you're putting, you flick it.
Right. But hey, so I was gonna mention this beforehand, but I figured I'd save it for the show. Guess what, guys?
What?
Huh.
Remember, I think it was last episode or the episode before I talked about how I won't play prototypes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have a prototype now.
Oh my gosh.
but isn't it like a roll and write prototype or
It is.
something? Okay.
Yeah. So I got cartographers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm interested to try
Was
this.
that when you
But-
tried it on Pub?
I tried, but it wasn't like somebody that was attending Unpub had
Oh,
a
okay.
print and play version, so it was not being shown off at Unpub.
Right. The
Mhm.
designer
But it
wasn't
was
there.
I knew the
Okay.
I knew the person, and I was like, ooh, I want to try that. I it's intriguing. I don't want to say more until I play more, but the early impression I had of it is if I'm playing with gamers, I would pick this over Railroad Inc. If I'm playing with like
Oh.
normal people, quote unquote, like people that aren't playing games regularly, I would
Mhm.
play Railroad Inc.
Okay, so it's much more open, is what you're thinking?
What do you mean?
Like, game-
Accessible is what I'm looking at.
okay.
Like
It's less accessible, you're saying?
then something like yeah.
Okay.
Just
Gotcha.
theme wise.
Okay.
Because you're
but-
making maps, is what it sounds like.
Ish, yeah, but there's also some player interaction bits where
Nice.
depend if you flip. So it's actually a
Flip and fill
flip
or
and fill,
whatever.
draw and draw, whatever you want to call it. That's the good part about it is that it's not real. It's a prototype, but not really because it's like high quality. I mean, it's practically pre-production right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but and it's from the people that make role players. So that's the
Oh,
other reason
awesome.
I
Oh, of
was.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In fact, it says Cartographers, a role-playing game.
Yeah. So one of the games I was super sad we didn't get to try, just because they were in a game, and by the time they were finished,
We just didn't
we were
sync
in
up,
another
yeah.
game. Yeah. Anyway, it's a dexterity roll and write game coming from it's
Oh yeah,
published by
you showed that.
Pandasaurus.
You showed that to
It's
me.
a flick and right.
Flick and right.
Flick and Phil.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But I can't remember the name.
It was something
Something about bees or
pods,
horticulture.
something
um,
orthopods or something. Arthropods.
arthropod.
Yeah.
So I wish I could remember the name. I don't know. I'm super excited about though. So that'll
Yeah.
be cool. I'm disappointed I didn't get to try it. We did get to try a new game from Restoration Games, but we can't talk about it.
Thank you for bringing it up. So, by the way, I will note that I was in the same room as Rob Davio.
Yeah.
And you did not.
I did not hurt him.
I was
punch
like,
him.
hey, we're with your buddy Rob.
Yeah.
Although I didn't even get anywhere. I was like, I should stay away.
Yeah.
I might make a fool of myself.
Yeah. Our favorite game that we tried was
called Our
Our
Town.
Town, like
Yeah.
HOUR.
Oh, it's a Western.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
All it
Kind
was
of,
at that
yeah.
point was graphic design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, you put things here. It was like, boop. There's no artwork at all.
yeah.
Not that you would be into.
It's going to be a Western game.
Gotcha.
Well, once they add in the graphics, yeah.
Yeah, the picture was like, you see a wagon and some wood
But,
fronts
oh
that
my
you
gosh,
see in Western towns.
It was awesome. So it's this city building game, but your workers are hourglasses. And so you have 60 seconds.
Sand timers.
Sand timers, not hourglasses, sand timers. And so you have 60 seconds. Like you set a sand timer down to say, okay, I'm going to perform this action, but you have to wait 60 seconds before you can actually do it. And so whether it's generating a resource or, building part of the building
Mhm.
or whatever it is, getting a building permit. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. It was so quick and so fun.
So you place it and you can't actually take the action until it's done with the sand.
Yeah, until the minute is up.
And to answer your
Shoot.
question, the reason I said sand timer instead of hourglass.
Yeah, that's. I was
Time.
sitting there thinking, I was like, I guess a sand timer is just a generic term.
Mm.
An
Yeah.
hourglass specifically means one that is an hour long.
Yeah. True.
But yeah,
Did y'all
Nice.
play Scouts?
we
We
did.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That
got
was
to play
good.
that.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I figured you might like it because it had cutesy artwork.
The artwork was amazing on that game. Yes.
Yeah, I was able to give a little bit of constructive feedback on that one.
We gave a ton of feedback to that one because it was when I played it, it was 3 reviewers and 1 game designer all playing, and we're like, we're gonna give you a lot of feedback.
Huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. I thought it was good. I mean, yeah, it needs some refinement, but generally, I thought it was
This is apparently the third time we'd been
at
demonstrating it at
Mm.
Unpub.
Mm-hmm. So
But yeah.
All the comments I ever had on any of the games were all like minor stuff.
Mhm.
yeah,
Like one thing that bothered this was like a running thing among all of them was color distinctions.
That was what I said about the Scouts one. It's like,
game.
I can
Mhm.
see the colors differently on this, but
right.
on this, there's a
That was one
brown
of the-
background, so it makes it harder to distinguish them.
I think we brought that up as well.
Mm.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, like there was one that like somebody was using colors the mini game, the golf dice game.
Oh, okay.
He was using the colors for the dice colors were the same as the player colors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so when he was
yeah.
first explaining, I'm like, wait, is that one? No, I was like different
That was
colors for
confusing.
different.
Yeah.
That
I
seemed to be a
totally get that.
reoccurring thing I was posting in there. Is like use different colors than what your player colors are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big issue in a lot of games in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ticket to Ride. That's like one thing I always have to give people is like, you do not own all the
Oh,
blue
yeah.
spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The fun thing though about
That
Unpub.
could be like a homebrew rule, though.
So the fun thing though about Unpub is I like that if you submit like feedback, you get entered in. If you formally submit feedback on their like website thing,
I just used
Then-
the app.
yeah, it's either through the website or through the app.
The app gave me trouble.
But so if you submit feedback formally via the internet, then you get entered into a drawing.
She only likes it because she won.
No, it's cool. I think it's neat. But yeah, they do a drawing, and I did win, and that was super exciting because they had a game there that I've been looking for a while.
What'd you end up getting?
Rescue polar bears.
Of course.
Data and temperature.
Yes.
That's the rest of the title.
What? Rescue polar bears data and temperature?
Yeah.
It's
Colon, data and temperature.
So the regular game they released it originally. It was just Rescue Polar Bears. Then they did like a second edition, and they added in like this extra little bit. So they kind of changed the name, sort of.
Kind of like there's a game called Lost Valley, and then they did a second edition. It was Lost Valley, the Yukon Gold Rush, 1849, or something like 18.
Whatever.
I think
it
it's
is.
1849. I don't know.
So yeah, Unpub was fun.
Good. Yay.
Lost Valley. No.
So yeah.
Remember how I was talking about we've been playing Time Stories?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I finally got to a Time Stories game that I haven't played, and that was Under the Mask.
Awesome.
Right, you were talking about mentioned that last time.
The Pyramids one.
Under the Mask. This sounds like it's a Scooby-Doo plot.
Yeah, it was kind of like the basic plot is that it was really weird. Like the beginning, I was kind of like, wait, there was like a big plot hole at the beginning where a temporal disturbance happens when they open up King in like 1920s when they open up King Tut's tomb and his mask is gone when it was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And then suddenly like, you need to go back to such and such BC when the mask was stolen. I'm like, how did you know when the mask was stolen if you didn't know until the tomb got opened up in 1920?
Bob's really the bad guy.
Yeah.
Wait,
What?
no, because I think that's actually true.
I don't know.
I've only played the first two scenarios.
He's
so.
a jerk, regardless.
Yeah, he's just a jerk.
He is.
But yeah, it was fine. It was another one of those where it's just like, we're figuring stuff out. And it's gotten to the point now where like the first time we run through these, we just like, all right, we're just gonna explore everything so that when we actually restart the game, that we know what is worth focusing on and what isn't. So it's usually like we get to like the path that leads towards, like we figure out what path leads towards the end as we run out of time on the first run.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd be amazed to see like people that get the path exactly right the first run.
I bet they're lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, they're totally
They're doing
lying.
that thing you were talking about. It was like, let's say that didn't happen.
That didn't happen,
for
right?
everything.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was one of those like I'm enjoying playing through it, but nothing's like it's not as remarkable as it was when we were the first like time. I hear people talk about like the Asylum was kind of like the first, or it was like the best of it, and then it all just kind of like, I mean, it's not bad.
I've heard good things about the Prophecy of Dragons.
That one was pretty good. There's a couple of twists in there that are about like Asylum level, but this one was like pretty generic. I missed the next one. This past week they played the Expedition Endurance one, so I didn't get to play in that one. So I can go look up all the spoilers now.
Or you could just ask them.
It's better to just get it untwisted.
So how about you guys? You guys played actual games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual games that have. Oh, I knocked something over.
Yeah, we played.
Yeah, we played actual games. Yeah.
Man, we're really coming together here on this. It's like you start talking about top tens, and then the next thing you know, the next episode, we're just like,
So yeah, we played Koi from
Smirk
Hey,
and
I played that
Laughter.
game.
Smirk and Laughter.
Smirk and Laughter.
Yeah, we had you play it once when we were over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What?
do you want to take this?
Sure. So koi is basically, the premise is that you are a koi fish in a pond, and you are trying to eat dragonflies and frogs too, if you encounter them. And so everybody has cards, and you play your cards to move your koi. Like the cards have directions on them, and so you play the cards to move your koi fish around. And
it's a programming game where it's
Yeah.
like you play this card and it's like, okay, I go up one space,
yeah,
turn clockwise.
only you're not like pre-programming. You're programming.
On your
mean,
turn.
you're
yeah.
on your
sort
turn, yeah.
of. I mean, you're laying the cards out and then doing the.
Yeah,
I-
but nothing can really change
Okay.
what you're doing necessarily. But so that's the basic premise of the game. There's rocks that interrupt you, like interrupt your movement patterns. There's like I said, there's the dragonflies you're trying to eat, then there's frogs that you're trying to eat. However, the frogs can eat the dragonflies if they're next to them. And then you also have lily pads, which is where the dragonflies spawn. And then there's these cherry blossoms that when a cherry blossom gets dropped in the water, it causes everything in the hexes surrounding it to shift one hex over. So that's pretty cool because you can use it to your advantage to push a dragonfly or a frog or something into your koi.
I feel like that should be flipped. The cherry blossom should be in your way, and the rock should cause
I said the same thing, did I not?
Well, I think of it as a rock is being placed there. A cherry blossom is falling into the water.
This is a koi pond. You're not just like chucking. Like koi ponds are usually like very delicate. Like this is set.
Yeah.
Unless you're a pain in the ass little kid walking by
sure.
and like throwing rocks in the thing, but that's.
Yeah, but anyway.
But I said the same thing.
Yeah, so there's a ton.
And then there's the weather cards.
Right. There's a ton of the programming cards, but then there's also movement cards, and they also have the like ornamentation cards they call them. But then there's weather cards, and each round or each game you have 6 different weather cards that you'll encounter, and some of them are nice, good things that'll benefit you. Like Collin, one of the games actually we played this yesterday, and one of the ones it's anytime a koi faces an adjacent rock today, they may jump it immediately. So that's something that's to your advantage. But then sometimes there's things that, aren't it's bad weather events like snow. And then like for snow, you can only play up to 3 cards on your turn. If you play less than 3, you draw a card for each one you chose not to play. So cuz
I think we had that, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yep.
You can play as many cards as you want on a turn. So having a limit could be
Yeah, but there's
not
one.
useful.
There's one that says like you can either draw or play cards this round.
We had that too, right?
We had it in our game.
We had it in
okay.
a 2-player game. Yeah.
But yeah, we got it in like the last round.
Maybe
It's like,
you told me
I
about
think
it.
I'm gonna play cards.
I'm gonna draw.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's icy.
Yeah.
It's icy, which makes sense.
I see.
But so the cool thing,
because I've seen that like flipping through like weird videos or whatever, and like the koi they'll shove their mouth above the water, and then they'll just freeze in place.
Just so they can like
stay alive.
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting. But yeah, the cool thing about this is if at any point at the end of a player's turn, there are no dragonflies on the board, you immediately have a flood, and the flood like wipes away the cherry blossoms, it wipes away any frogs that are remaining. It pushes all the koi to the outer edges of the pond, and then you add dragonflies to every free lily pad at that point. So it makes it so that if at any point there's no dragonflies and it's still not the end of the round, the next people who are going aren't just kind of screwed out of getting points. So that's really nice that this game can be kind of mean because you can intentionally place things in people's way, like rocks, or drop a cherry blossom, which moves things away from like an opponent that they're right next to being able to get something on their turn. And so yeah, it definitely has some take that the traditional
possibility anyway.
The smirkiness of the smirk and laughter, but it's much
smirkiness.
But it's much
I
more.
like it.
But it's much more tame than some of their other games, like Tides of Madness, Roll for Your Life. Those other games.
Tower of Madness, you mean?
Tower of Madness, not Tides of Madness.
That's a different game.
I'm looking at both of
Completely
them on
different
your
game.
shelf over there right now, so I got confused. Excuse me. Tower of Madness. But yeah, this game it's fun, and it is so beautiful. Oh
The
my
components
gosh,
are pretty nice.
the components are beautiful. I mean, the cherry blossoms and the lily pads are just they're cardboard chits, but they're fairly thick. But then you also put the rocks and the dragonflies. They're nice.
I think it's okay.
They're like
the
wooden
lily
painted.
pads being just chits
I
because
think
lily
it's
pads
fine.
are flat anyway.
Right.
You wouldn't expect them
Well,
to be
and
like
the cherry
towering
and
above
cherry
the board.
blossoms are flat too.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that's perfect as they are. But then having the dragonflies and the frogs and even the koi and rocks and stuff, having them be like cardboard pieces. Not cardboard. They're wooden. They're painted wooden components. It's just really nice.
Pre-cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wooden, and it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic of it. The art design is beautiful. Like
Well,
this
that's
rule
hands
book-
down. The game looks beautiful.
Yes. I think my only real complaint is when I read through the rule book, I had to reread things a few times because it was slightly
the rule
confusing.
book was not done very well. Yes.
It was it could be confusing, and I feel like maybe it could have been ordered differently.
There's a little bit of empty space. Like there's a round order on the back
round
page,
order
which
is
is
very-
always a plus.
Yeah, the
Like, you
round
just
order is
set
very
it on the table.
helpful.
But there's a little bit of empty space out the bottom. I think they could have put like a little bit of like helpful reminders, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there's a table in here that shows how stuff
Moves and
it
interacts
gets
with each
affected
other.
with like when you put like a cherry blossom in the water.
Yeah.
The
It's
table is really nice, but it's like in the middle of the rule book.
Yeah.
So.
And so we had to keep referencing it every game we play because it's like, okay, how do we move this? How does this interact with this? And I'm sure like after you've played it a bunch of times, you'd become familiar. But I mean, we've played it.
Who plays
a
games
few.
a bunch of times these days?
Ha. No, we've played it a few times now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Play
it's
it once,
still
throw it
just-
on a shelf.
There was a little bit of time in between each play.
Yeah, that's
so.
true.
But something that has bugged me about this game is,
Ha.
bugs in the game, yeah. Something that's bugged me about this game is not a complaint on the game. It's
It's a
an
complaint on
overlooked
Cindy. I get
rule.
it.
I've seen pictures of this on Instagram, and every time I'm like, no, you did it wrong. Because in the game, there's a rule. You cannot place lily pads next to lily pads or rocks next to rocks. And people have like lines of rocks in their game. I'm like, you can't do that.
No.
No, stop.
I have never played this game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's the first time I've even seen this game. I saw that diagram on one of the pages when Cindy was flipping through the rule
Yeah.
book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how?
Yeah, it's that one right
Right
there.
here.
And it's like, hey, this
About
is
where
where
you
you
can
can put the
place-
rock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're called natural beauty. That's what it is. The rocks, the lily pads, the frogs, and the cherry blossoms.
Natural beauty.
Yeah. Well, they are natural beauty.
Yeah.
But
So I would say this is a good game for someone that is wanting to get their family into like a programming game, like pre-Robot Rally.
Mhm.
Robo
Oh,
Rally.
yeah.
Robo Rally.
Robo Rally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, and this is a less frustrating game than Robo Rally. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I don't know, it
definitely
was-
something to start off with.
It was not my cup of tea when I played. Like the artwork's beautiful, but I don't know why it wasn't necessarily. Maybe just because I felt too much, maybe like an abstract kind of.
It
like,
is more abstract
We
for
played
sure.
it last night, one last time, and I ended the game like, wish there was a little more to this,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's really light. It is
yeah,
extremely light.
overnight. I was having a realize it's like we were actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we were getting a little bit more involved with it.
Mhm. We were.
But-
Our scores were higher our last game than we had in the past.
And I think this would thrive better at a 3 and 4 player count.
Probably. I get that. We've played it 3-player, but I mean most of our plays are 2 anyway, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed this game. I will give it a thumb and a half for sure.
Yeah, I'll give it at least 1 thumb.
I would just be neutral. Like it's
Mhm.
not a bad game.
Yeah.
But it's
You would,
not.
if the family pulled it out, you would say, okay.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
one I'd probably sit down and play, but I'm not going to be asking to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is Koi from Sunken Laughter.
Oh, I brain spasm for a second. I had to look at the notes real quick. So yeah, one of the only probably like the only other game that I've gotten to play since with it's been a busy couple weeks, but we had that was actually the day before Unpub. I didn't go to D&D because I was getting up early, and Ashley was like, "We should play an escape room game," because we had some. And instead of playing the ones that we have, I went and bought one. Well, because Ashley's played the unlock games, but I wanted to see how she did with I wanted to show her the exit style
Mm-hmm.
because it's got more of the puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Since she had played some of the unlock ones, and I wanted to see what she thought. So we got the Sunken Treasure one.
Hey, we've played that one.
Yeah, I got it because it was like one of the easiest ones, and then I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, this is really easy." Except for one, there was one. Like it wasn't really easy in that the puzzles really, it was very linear path is what I'm
Oh
I meant.
yeah.
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 Like instead of like some of the other ones, like I think it's like the Pharaoh's Tomb or whatever, you can have like 2 or 3 different.
Yeah, you're like, what's this thing go to? Oh, it's its own thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could have a couple different things going on.
That's true.
Whereas this one was like, no, A to B to C to D to E.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. That one was like that.
So, which was okay in that we could all focus on one puzzle at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There was one puzzle I don't know what it was that we just could not get.
We had
And
one
it's-
like that too with my parents.
And it's like, you turn over the hint card. I'm like, well, I already knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, I turn this over. Well, it doesn't tell me too much. Like, crap, I need the solution. Tell me how to do this.
Yeah, we actually had to do that in that game as well.
Yeah. And it
With
was
one of
like
the
everything
clues.
else we managed to figure out for the most part, but that was the only one we had to be like, okay, how do you do this? Because we're just sitting here wasting time. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love how those games use every bit of the game.
yeah.
Like
The
it's-
components are multi-purpose.
Yes,
And
I
that's
think
actually the part
fantastic.
that threw us off. The one that used the most components
Yes,
Mm.
was the
It's-
one that threw us off.
It's usually the one that throws us off too when we play them, which
Yeah.
we should know by now. But
Well, that in the sense that we had an idea of what they were wanting us to do, but we just didn't have like there wasn't enough specific. I don't
it's
know.
probably the same one we had issues with. But we
Probably.
can't talk about it
Yeah.
online because we don't want to spoil it for anybody.
So yeah, that's the only other thing is Exit the Sunken Treasure. They definitely liked the puzzle aspects of it,
Good.
but I think Ashley's on the same page with me that it kind of sucks that you just
Throw
trash
it
it
away.
afterwards.
Mm.
That
That
she's
is the
like,
one
well, you could
downside, yeah.
you could like print the make copies of stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of work though.
Like
Yeah.
hit pause, go Xerox,
Yeah,
come back, unpause.
Yeah.
No one look at anything while
it's
I'm
really
gone.
weird. We're like, that was fun, and the trash,
Yeah.
and it's trash.
Well, we recycle ours, but
Because it's all paper.
Well,
Or cardboard.
that's an actual escape room experience.
mhm.
Right. Exactly. And it's cheaper than escape room because
That's what we were like. We've
they're
been wanting
under
to do.
15 or under.
We've been
so-
wanting to do escape rooms, but it's like it's like $75 to $100 if I want to take all 3 of us to an escape room.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because they're usually at minimum $25 a person.
Yeah. Whereas I can spend 15
Yeah.
At the most.
at the
Do
most.
it in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to wear pants.
Well, I had the kid around,
You
so
can wear like sleep pants or something.
I thought
That's
that was
still
o-
pants.
objective.
Those aren't
then.
real pants.
they're still. I consider those pants.
Those are comfortable pants. They're like
Underpants have pants in the
800s.
name.
Those are like 8 sizes too big, and they still fit perfectly.
Oh my gosh.
They're not even
Although
pants.
there is, I will say that the game comes with these little plastic gems.
Oh my gosh, they were so cool.
I kept those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We did too.
I think we threw those in like our dice vase.
Yeah, I threw
Yeah,
them in
they
just
are.
like I have a bin of random components,
Mm-hmm.
and I just threw it in there.
I couldn't throw
If
those
I ever
away. They
if
were
I
so
ever
cool.
want to make a game, I got plenty of like excess
Yeah.
components.
We actually
Yeah.
have some extra components too, which is
You're gonna
cool.
you're gonna put a game on the table, and people are gonna be like, "Is that from X-Wing? Is that from What is that from now? Is that from Genesis? What are you doing?"
Oh man, I've been seeing like as much as I see the Star Wars Legion stuff,
Uh-huh.
and I was listening through last week's episode, you talking about X-wing, and I'm just like, I want to play X-wing again. But I'm like, if I ever got into it again, I would not be like into it. Like I might get like
yeah.
the starter game and like enough to build like one small fleet kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here, something to scratch the itch.
Yeah, and I think I'd play the Battlestar Galactica one first.
Oh, that's right, you do have that.
I do have that. Yep. I need to find some of the expansions.
Mm.
Because nobody's selling them.
To be honest, I haven't even looked.
I didn't realize, like, with how you were talking about it, I was like, are there going to be expansions?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be. Well, the thing is, like, there's
That's it. There's a
going-
one wave of expansions and then
Yeah.
they're done.
Yeah, because like if you want to go canonically off of the reboot show,
Mm-hmm.
so you had your Vipers, you had your Raptors, and those you had your Viper Mark IIs, your Viper Mark 7s, your Raptors, and that was really all the Colonial Fleet had.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad guys have
Well, there was that Night Stalker.
the
the black-
the
whatever.
Black Recon one they made, which then got destroyed like a couple episodes later. And maybe they could bring it, so there could be potentially 5 there were 5 different like one-manned vehicles in the show, and the last 2 were there for like an episode or 2. And
Hey, Kyle.
the Cylons, they have regular Cylon Raiders and heavy Cylon Raiders. That's it.
Do they look
That's like-
different?
So it
yeah,
doesn't-
they look
Okay.
different. Like that's all I got. You have 7 total ships that saw
So
like
it
major
doesn't-
screen time.
it doesn't make for a very good like expansion.
I mean, unless they want to start pulling from their. Well, no, the phone game got canceled, but there was this Battlestar Galactica phone game that had all these just random looking ships with like lore and stuff going on with them too. I mean, it was kind of cool to like read all these little things and all that. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Speaking of old
Interesting.
sci-fi franchises, I want a Stargate board game,
Yes.
or like I don't think you
a
could,
good Stargate
a
board
good
game
Stargate
because there
board
was a
game.
Stargate board game.
but like even if maybe not necessarily like it's to the you could do like a cool spaceship one, not like a minis game like fighter to fighter, but like I'm trying to think like Forbidden Stars level where it's like you got a couple of fleets
Okay, yeah.
that you're moving around. That could be cool, like one self-contained game. I've been watching a lot of Stargate recently.
There would need to be a card that has like in the middle of my backswing.
Yeah. Such a good episode. And he's got that giant bowl of oatmeal. Like, Colonel, what are you doing?
So why is Dinosaur Island on here?
Cindy finally played
I
it.
played it,
Oh.
and I was thinking I'd talk about it if we had time, but I don't have to. We can talk about it
Okay.
some other time because we have another review.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, so we have been playing Word Slam Family.
The fast-paced, word-based guessing game for the whole family.
So they do have like a regular word slam, but then this one incorporated
It's categories,
Categories, yeah.
versus the regular is just like
generic.
it's like so there's
Speaking of
always
Exit, also by Cosmos.
yeah.
Oh yeah, this is by Cosmos. You're right.
So yeah,
Didn't
there's
plan
all
for
these,
that.
these different categories. Like you have animals and creatures, something places.
Animals, plants, creatures, travel, outdoors, history, food and drink, web and social media, emotions and miscellaneous, or as we call it, love and stuff, science, technology, religion, and then movies, music, and literature.
But Cindy, how does it play?
Here,
I'm glad you asked. So, are you either of you familiar with Concept?
Yes.
So there, in Concept, there's like a board
I
in
did
front
not
of
like
you.
that game.
I didn't like it either. It's too cerebral.
Yeah.
This is a cerebral game too, but not quite to the effect.
For the reference, for those, what Colin's talking about is there's a game called Concept where basically there's a card that's got a bunch of items
It's
on
a
it.
board. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying
No,
the
no.
card has different
Oh.
things.
What you're trying to
Like,
Oh,
someone
yeah.
picks an item off of that card, and then there's a board with a bunch of symbols, and then you basically have to like put things by the different symbols to try and get them. Like it's round, it's green, it's a machine. It's like you like put things
You have-
on here like what's more important.
Mhm.
Like it's really
Ah.
green, or like it's only a little bit green kind of thing, and
Mhm.
come up with this concept using all these little pictographs.
So at first it was a John Deere tractor. Now it's not a John Deere tractor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this, rather than little pictographs, you have words. And so you have 4 different types of words that you have. So you have nouns. So you have a huge stack of nouns.
Mhm.
You have like prepositions and other words, miscellaneous. You have adjectives and verb type cards. So
It's a team versus team.
team versus team game. My first complaint about this is you use the box as a divider. And you can see this box, it is tiny.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to see the other
You-
team's words.
You need a DM screen, honestly. You need something like that.
Or just go grab Concordia or Power Grid and put that box up.
Oh yeah, because those boxes are huge.
That's what I did. I took our Concordia expansion box and just put that in the middle of the table.
Yeah, it worked well actually.
But so you have this thing up, and one person from each team says word, and then the other person says slam, and then they at the same time they know that I started out of order there.
You did.
Both of them know the word that they're trying to guess,
Okay.
and they say word.
Are they doing the
slam.
same word?
They're
Yeah,
doing the same
mhm.
word. Yep.
Okay.
And it's a race to see whose team can guess the word
Gotcha.
first. So what you're doing, once they say that, they start going through these cards and putting cards down on the table. So
Okay, so you don't have a limited. It's
You
all
can
the
play
cards
as many
are,
cards as you want.
Yeah.
Yep. But sometimes the more you play, the worse it is because it makes it harder
yeah,
to
and
grasp.
there's supposed to be a time limit, so you like set a timer on your phone is what they suggest.
Well, they say if it's taking too long, set a timer.
I was about to say, or whenever trying to beat the other team.
yeah,
Right.
but sometimes it's like you get to a point and I don't know what else to do,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that early on in our last game that we did, we were like, I was like trying to cooperate with the other team. It's like, okay, what do you got over there? Here's what we got. Here,
Yeah.
does that help you?
Are they the same group? Does each player or each
Yeah,
team
so
have the
it's
same groups of
two
cards?
sets of the
Yeah.
same groups of
Okay.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some funny things that came out of our game.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
So some of them are like they're just like single words, and so they're pretty funny combinations that you get. Like one of them was you're trying to guess like the TV show The Bachelor.
Mhm.
And both teams. So this is it was girls versus. I mean, it was couple. It was couple versus couple. And so the two women, we were the ones giving the clues, and we both put man, love, many, woman. That
And
was our clue.
When I was cooperating, I was like, okay, I got man, love, many, woman, and he's like, wait, I've got that too.
It was so great. Yeah, so that was for The Bachelor.
And
And
that was like a
then-
running joke for the whole night. Man, love, many, woman.
Yeah, it was. That was like one
Is
of our
it sad?
first
I can think of
words.
like 3 TV shows that fits.
I actually
Yeah.
said I was actually thinking of the movie The Bachelor.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
when I said my answer, because I was the one that got it, it was like, oh yeah, I was thinking of the Chris O'Donnell movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so then one of the other we had to guess. I don't remember the category, but the word was Pokemon. Oh, this was internet.
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
web and social
Web
media.
and social media
Okay.
stuff. So Pokemon was
Yep.
the word. So I had all this stuff out. I don't even remember what it was now, but Colin was not guessing it. It was something like animal, change, time, I don't remember. I don't remember what it had because
Mhm.
I don't know too much about Pokemon. So then finally I'm like, speak name, and he's like, Pokemon. And then we look over at the other side of the table, and Shannon had put down small animal in circle container. I'm like, well, that works too. Yeah, and then ranch. The guys were giving us clues for ranch,
Oh yeah.
and this I could not get this for the life of me. I'm like, what the heck?
So
So
would have been like
Colin-
giant bowl of giant tub.
well, see, the category was food and drink.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind is going.
I
And so
took it in a
Colin-
different direction. I said I found Big Sky Country, like,
which is Montana.
and I said like economy Big Sky Country.
Man economy
Yeah, man
in
economy.
Big Sky Country.
There you go.
And I'm like, and so I'm thinking like potatoes and horses and, and then I'm trying to think of like things that are food and drink, not thinking in terms of ranch, the
Right.
dressing. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. So it's
It's
kind of like,
it's
you
the
can
problem I
use-
have when I play code names.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah,
But the
yeah.
other team for ranch was white water on plant. Because it's a
Salad.
white liquid that goes. Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, and then the last one that was really amusing was coin. So we're trying to get them to guess the word coin. And mine was economy thin metal circle.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other team's was historical face picture on small metal circle.
I mean, do you get more points if you do it in less cards
No.
or something?
No.
It's just- But the thing is, like, sometimes the cards are very specific. Sometimes they're very broad. Like,
yeah.
coin was the word for that one. And, like, I'm thinking, like, specific things. And
Yeah.
it's just, like, a coin.
What the?
So,
Is it one of those games where you can just keep shouting out words, and if somebody
Yes.
says the word,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
you don't need
and-
to like whisper, whisper, whisper. Okay, we're gonna go
No.
with coin.
And-
that's the thing.
close-
Is like, yeah, you can go off of what the other team is saying.
Yeah. And close counts in this game. Like, so if it's, Tyrannosaurus Rex and somebody just says T-Rex, you give
Yeah.
it to them.
if someone said penny instead of coin,
It would depend, I think, on what the teams had decided upon ahead of time.
Yeah,
we had an
penny's kind of more specific than
Because we had an
coin, yeah.
instance like that.
Penny.
Oh my
Penny.
gosh.
jaggle,
Penny.
jaggle,
Yeah.
Jack,
jaggle,
Jack,
jaggle,
Jack, Jack. I was
jaggle.
thinking
It's
that
a
the whole
jaggle.
time.
So this game is a lot of fun. I
Wasn't right
think-
the first 15 times.
But yeah, it requires a certain state of mind.
Uh-huh. But the more you play it, or the longer you're playing the game of it, the easier the clues come to you because you're starting to get into a groove. So
Yeah.
like the first couple ones are like,
The-
oh my gosh, this is so hard.
The
But-
first 3 rounds
Mhm.
were
So, do you know enough about the original Word Slam? Like, what is the Is it just the team based?
No,
it
the
literally
wor-
just adds categories.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
okay.
original has card racks too.
Yeah, this
Uh,
one doesn't have the card.
Oh.
rack.
But this is a small box, so they couldn't fit the card racks in it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My only like true complaint about this game is, like he was saying, some of the categories are very broad and some or not broad, but some of the answers that they give you are very broad and some of them are very specific, and so that can be kind of like hard. But some of these categories, I'm just like, no, we don't need these. Like, I don't think I will ever play with web and social media again because it's just so ridiculous. Like, well, okay, maybe not.
Hold on. Let me
Maybe
see
not ever
Let me see
again.
the web and social
Yeah,
media
let's
cards.
see some of these
It's
ones.
the
Yeah,
light.
yeah.
It's the blue one, babe. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
I have
Blue.
it. So, oh my gosh.
Like Pokemon was in web and social media. It didn't really
yeah,
make too
but
much
like one of
sense.
them that we had was, let's see, no,
But,
I hate
Here,
editing
just
out
you
that
guys
noise.
just
By the
go.
way.
Yeah, we'll just
let's see what we got here.
there we go. So grab some of those.
yeah, they're just difficult.
Raffle.
Yeah,
Oh, come
like,
on. This is-
ROFL. E-commerce, PlayStation, cat videos. Seriously, cat videos. You would never want that category to
I mean,
pop up.
that
on
I
Duck
could do.
face.
But LOL, how do you do LOL with these cards?
Lots
is-
of love.
Lots of love. Is the word laugh in there somewhere?
I don't think so.
No.
YOLO.
Yeah. Screenshotting, hashtagging, binary code flash drive.
Hashtag no filter.
There you
Like
go.
it's crazy to me.
It
I don't
might
know.
work for those that live on the internet,
Yeah.
but for us that are just kind of casually.
Skylander.
Say Skylanders.
Skylander's on there.
Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, podcast update. See this card, like you just need to leave this card in there.
That's the one we had, and I hated it. Shannon and I didn't.
I said-
we
I said-
skipped it.
I could do podcast easy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, they got that word.
Hey, they got that word.
What's that word?
That's that word that everyone is debating over.
What is that word, Phil?
It's peanut butter.
What's it? No, it's not.
Huh?
What is it?
No, it's not.
If you say Jif, it's peanut butter.
No.
Oh, GIF.
Get out. It is not Jif.
I said
It's
if you
GIF.
say Jif. I said if you say Jif. Roll the tape back.
It's GIF. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. That category is one I'm just like, I don't think so. But the
Micro-
rest of them are good.
I don't know. I'd have fun
Apple.
with these.
Although love and stuff, the emotions and miscellaneous,
That's the one
that
I'd be
could
like.
be
eh.
that could be tricky because it's such a broad category.
It's
You're
like Thing on Wheel of Fortune.
yes. Like I'm looking at the card here that's in the instructions.
Binary code. Is there numbers? 101.
there is 0, 1, 2, and many are
Ah.
the numbers. In there.
Zero.
I would-
one,
0, 1
many.
many. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Blogging, live streaming.
We don't need to
just-
say all the words on the podcast.
Hey, podcast is one of the words.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bluetooth.
so
See, look at that.
yeah, I mean it's a good game though. It's a lot of fun.
Aw, they put Android and Apple on separate cards.
Yeah. So what's your opinion, Colin?
So I would be hesitant to play this with certain people,
Oh.
like the analysis paralysis people.
Yeah.
But for the casual gamers, this is a slam dunk. This is a good. I did it again.
Slam.
They did it.
I did it again.
Come on and slam. Hey, welcome to
I
the
made that
podcast.
same joke before the show.
And we said, are we going to do that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say this is a good game for
He
families.
couldn't help himself. He was
Word.
Slam. So yeah, I mean,
Nope,
it's,
that's it. That's it.
it's
That-
3
you said
plus
word slam.
players,
Oh,
so
too late.
any size family gathering, you could really get any number of people together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And they have rules in here on how to scale it for like depending on like you use more cards if you have more players. But you can also do like a shorter version of the game.
How much is this?
and-
Do you know what MSRP is?
I think it's like under $20.
Right.
Oh,
It looks like it'd be
no.
the, based off of size wise. I would say this is like a $15 game.
And it's just cards.
I don't
so-
know if the MSRP is $20, but I think on average it's probably going for about 20.
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of cards in a tiny box.
it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend Word Slam Family
Is there gonna be like a
from Cosmos.
lots of cards?
You know what
in
else is a lot of fun in a tiny box?
A cat.
Dice
gone.
from Easy Roller Dice.
Oh,
Ooh.
transitioning.
Yeah. In fact, if you're listening to this on the stream, you've still got time. And if you're listening to this the day it comes out, you've got like 2 days. to go to excuse me, not Facebook. That was the other contest. YouTube.com/boards and swords. Click subscribe and then find the video. It says support us on Patreon and leave a comment. While we're talking about that, I just want to mention that there's a couple things I want to mention. I'm going to get back to the commercial. Don't worry. Some people didn't know that we not only, when I say live from, that's because we're actually doing this live. We've got a chat room. So you can go to boardsandswords.com/live and see the show. In fact, Twitch will rebroadcast them every now and then so you can see them. Like if I'm off the air, I think it just cycles through previous broadcasts. Also, you can go to the YouTube channel and watch the show in video form.
Or Facebook, too.
Or
They're up
Facebook.
on Facebook.
Facebook's a little weird when it comes to finding specific videos, though.
It is very weird.
Unless it's like the most recent one.
Yeah, like the most recent one sometimes will pop up in your feed and it's fine. But like YouTube's a lot easier if you're trying to find a specific like episode.
And you can just go to the person's page and go to uploads and just scroll because you're going to find them all there.
But some people were like, oh, why am I listening to the podcast? And I can see this. So that's an option if you want to see our terrible faces.
Yeah.
My face is not terrible.
And if you want to see the stuff that gets edited out.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other thing is
true.
One person was like, what am I missing? I'm like, well, you're missing Colin's editing, that's for sure. You get to see all of our failures.
Yeah. All the empty space.
All the empty space. That is the largest part, the empty space. So there's that. Then we've also got the Patreon.
Yay.
We've got a decent showing. Stuff people showing up. In fact, we had a couple people willing to give us $5, so I made a $5 level.
All right.
Yeah.
Which nobody switched over to yet. I'm like, you're willing to give I'm trying to give you more for your money.
Yeah. So the people that signed up for $5 haven't officially used the $5 pledge yet?
They just did $5 at the $1 a month.
That's extra work.
Yeah. I guess that's because somebody was like, do I literally have to click? I'm like, yes, because it on the back end is tracked differently.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But yeah, now if you go for $5 a month, you can either, if you've got a business, we can promote it on the show or something. You want me to read a message, or you could prefer I will do a bad dad joke about your favorite game.
I would be more in favor for that if it was me.
Yeah, and we'll make custom dice and send them out. To people
yeah, with our logo on it.
I mean,
or not logo, the name.
Yeah.
Chris does normal jokes about Colin's favorite games.
Oh my god.
It's easy. I make it too easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but specifically, I got in a tangent about that because of the Patreon. But if you go to easyrollerdice.com, you can look at all their beautiful metal dice. But if you do what we were talking about and comment on the Patreon video on YouTube and subscribe, you can get a chance to win a set of these metal dice. We have them sitting over there. I may actually open it and take pictures just so people can look and see. Maybe they'd be more motivated.
Do you have some like nice fancy white gloves so you don't get them blemished?
Oh,
you can wear, yeah, I know. We'll make a nice
Or
video.
I'll get
a nice video out of it.
I'll get one of those like grabber hands where you like grab it.
Gopher.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But you got it. Does Chloe still have any like old dolls or action figures? You cut the hands off of them, put those on the little tiny hands picking up.
Eric says he does both. He watches live and listens.
He's an
That's
overachiever.
awesome.
That's awesome. By the way,
I do both too, but that's only because I'm here.
Oh,
live.
I think okay. So just because of Eric's comment, I think we now need to put on there. Boards and Swords podcast is not liable if you are driving and crash your vehicle while listening to this.
By the way, while we were at Pub, I had somebody I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're Chris. I listen to your show and stuff."
Oh,
Awesome.
that's awesome.
So, I didn't get his name, but hello. There was actually somebody else I think recognized me by the Dice Tower videos, but
cool.
That's awesome.
I would say he seemed kind of like hesitant, like he didn't want to
disturb you.
trouble me or whatever.
Yeah.
By far, if you ever see me at a convention, go for it.
Yeah.
Say, hey, the only time is if you see me running or walking quickly somewhere, or if I'm carrying a bunch of stuff,
Right.
or if I just say, sorry, I got to get somewhere, that's usually because like I'm in a hurry somewhere.
They just got to match your pace.
Yeah, there you go. Other than that, come find me because
Yeah.
sometimes you get to thinking like nobody's listening, and then so it's just a nice little ego boost to be like, hey, somebody
Yeah.
does listen to the show.
Yeah, and if you ever see Colin and I at a convention, please say hi to us too. I mean,
Yeah. We'll be at Dice Tower Con.
Yeah.
yeah.
Say hi.
I mean,
You can play games with them there.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty introverted, so I don't like reaching out. But I mean, I'm more than happy to Like I love talking to people. So you approach me, I'll be a happy girl.
Cindy's not an instigator.
No.
Nope.
So worst commercial ever. Getting back on point. That
Oh right.
If
There
you
we go.
don't win the contest,
Easy roller dice.
and you want to show
.com.
show support for the people that support us, go to easyrollerdice.com. Go check out their dice, their accessories such as their dice cups, their dice trays. Everything they make is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
And go check them out and make sure that you thank them for supporting us.
Yes.
And with that, Colin, it's over to you.
Oh,
Are we doing reverse categories? Is that what this is?
it's the wrong categories. Yeah.
So as I was filling this out, I thought that it was actually going to be like people having to guess these words.
Ah,
So like I didn't go with like the obvious one for each one.
that's good. That's good. Yeah. So we are doing wrong categories again. I have taken the liberty to give everyone a list from Scattergories, the actual game. Everyone is on a different list, all three competitors. And here, let me grab these coins. And I have my own list of questions.
that are not from categories.
Yes.
By the way,
I-
our previous winner Zach's in the chat room.
Hey, Zach.
Ooh, hey
It
Zach.
says bad dad jokes is an oxymoron.
Because they're always good.
Hey,
I was doing it.
We
as,
ain't no oxymoron.
I was going as a bad / dad jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dad jokes are the best.
So yeah, so I have my own list of questions I will be asking, and everyone will pick an answer that they gave on their sheet as an answer to the question, and can elaborate on such to defend it if they like. I would prefer that, if just FYI. And I will choose the best answer. I have 7 questions, and oh, by the way, you also have to have everything start with the same letter. I chose the letter C. And yeah, so I have 7 questions. The first 3 are going to be worth a point. The second 3 are going to be worth 2 points. And then the 7th question is a 2-parter where each part is worth 2 points.
Sweet.
What if I point one off?
Then that shouldn't be possible in this game.
Oh my god.
If you're 0.1 off, you're doing it wrong. And you'd be wrong anyway. So
Okay.
there's no margin of error. All right, so getting into this. So I am theming all these questions off of the some of the games that we were talking about today.
Gotcha.
So Time Stories, Koi, and Word Slam Family. So first question, a hot tub, police box, and a DeLorean have all been presented as vessels for time travel. Right? Am I accurate with
A
that?
hot tub of what?
Cat.
Vehicles for time
That
travel.
starts with C.
Don't worry about it. So
I totally could have put that. I had animals one. I didn't put cat.
your tail is on my points.
Oh no, I didn't because it wasn't. Never mind.
All right, I'm just going to start the question over.
Okay.
So a hot tub, police box, and a DeLorean have all been presented as vessels for time travel. What would be your vehicle of choice and why? All right, we will start with Cindy since she is laughing.
Crocs shoes. Because you put your feet in them and you're instantly.
Do you have to go 88 miles per hour in them?
No, you just put your feet in and they're just so like bad
Yeah.
that your body just wants to get away.
Gotcha.
So it goes anywhere other than right there.
Zoom.
So it's funny because I thought I had animal, but I had insect, and I'm going to use the word I had for insect, but for this is I'm going to say caterpillar. Except for I'm not thinking the animal, I'm thinking like the
like the construction
the
equipment.
construction
Oh,
equipment.
nice.
Because I'm reinforced and protected from the time space forces.
Nice. I dig that. And
Plus,
Phil-
if you watch Back to the Future,
Mhm.
there's not a second that anytime they re-enter, they always almost hit something or
That's
do
true.
hit something.
Yeah.
So if you're in
Yeah,
a
that's true.
caterpillar, you're good to go.
If you're in Croc shoes, I mean.
Yeah, he'll just take down the whole barn that way.
Then you'll be out of fashion sense no matter what decade you're in.
Exactly.
All right. So, Phil, what would be your time travel vehicle of choice?
A.
How many answers did you write? I saw you scrolling quite a ways.
Well, he's got them like big font.
Ah.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, if I flipped it this way, I could. Shut up. I still can't get rid of the keyboard though, so have them all on one page.
Hmm.
So I would have a cap.
A cap,
A cap.
as in
Like a
hat.
ball cap?
Yes.
You
Okay.
put
I
it
like to
on
think it's a
and-
propeller cap. So he's like,
Ooh.
"What time do I need to go?"
I like that you're defending Philip's answer for him.
Because also my train of thought also went to once I started thinking that, I'm thinking Inspector Gadget with like the handles
Oh,
that come out.
yes! Yes.
And that's his time travel vehicle.
All right.
Go gadget time hat.
Well, I know I'm gonna get negative points for favoritism, but I'm giving the point to the
Rigged.
Crocs.
Rigged.
Crocs. That
Power-
is such a croc.
It's powered by awkwardness. I can't.
That's such a
can't get past
croc.
that.
That's what that is.
Rigged.
All right. So, question 2, moving on. Another time travel question. So, we all know the flux capacitor was the main time travel component in the DeLorean in Back to the Future. I want to know what would enable time travel in your time machine. Let's start with Chris first.
I went too boring with some of my answers.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like any of these.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Philip first.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right, I'm gonna go for it. My propeller hat, my propeller cap is powered by cheese.
And did someone throw cheese at you? And it's like, here, throw the cheese.
So yeah.
My time machine is powered by coffee because it's what powers most people, so you can pretty much get it no matter what time period you're in.
If the coffee level reaches below this thing, we are in danger of interrupting the time continuum.
It's a coffee break. That's the name of the movie. It's called Coffee Break.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice. All right,
Okay.
Cindy, what powers your time machine?
Cats.
So is the cat in Crocs?
It's kind of like that joke. It's
I
like
don't
you got this
know.
behemoth vehicle, and it's like it runs on puppies.
I don't even know how it would work, but
Are
none
the-
of these
are
power
the-
Crocs.
Are the Crocs made of cats?
No,
You just say open wide.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was dumb, but I didn't have anything that would work. So
Or it's really just the cat under your foot latched on with all 4 paws.
That's what it looks.
See,
Yeah.
you guys are justifying this just fine. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go with the cheese on this.
All
Thank you. That was
right.
that was much better than what I said.
All right.
But now I can't use cats.
It's like this wheel brie cheese.
no, I can't use cats again.
I know. I was figuring you used cats too soon.
Yep.
Well, I couldn't help it. No, I didn't want to waste any of my other ones.
All right. Moving on. So we're talking about koi now.
Koi. Okay.
So rocks, lily pads,
Koi.
rocks, lily pads, and cherry blossoms are water features in the game Koi. What should I expect to see as a feature in your koi ponds? Let's go over to Cindy first.
Cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers. Okay. Are they dropped into the pond or gently placed?
They're gently placed so
Okay.
that you can they don't like automatically sink, so you can then go and fish them out and still eat them.
Okay.
They're just there. They're floating. No, they're floating on the lily pads. So
Mhm.
when you're on a walk through your garden and you get hungry, you just reach into the pond and just you have a snack.
Okay. I'm curious about the buns. Are these carb free? I'm wondering how soggy they'll be.
Well, if they're on the lily pad,
Well, no. The lettuce is the lily pad.
Yeah, this is a
Oh.
feature in the pond.
Yeah.
It's
oh.
instead of a lily pad, you have a
So-
cheeseburger. You're saying?
So yes. So instead of a lily pad, I have a cheeseburger. But yes, I like Chris's idea.
It's on a
of
lettuce
the-
bun.
It's a lettuce bun. So it's gluten-free cheeseburgers. Yes. And they never go stale, and the meat never goes bad.
Wow.
Like a McDonald's
I want
burger.
that burger regular. Can I get that not in a pond? Okay, let's go over to Chris.
Okay, so in my koi pond, because this is a continuation of the movie Coffee Break,
Uh-huh.
I have President Calvin Coolidge in my pond, and not like a statue, like the actual president. And he's just like, man, my feet are really nice in this koi pond.
I see that. Just a random guy standing in there, but former
So
president.
in the movie
Yeah.
Coffee Break, I'm collecting different presidents and people in history like Bill and Ted for my koi pond.
Hey, Socrates. Hey, it works because you said the name wrong too. I like it.
You did say the name wrong. Yes.
What is it?
Coolidge.
Coolidge.
We heard Coolridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
I put an R in there.
Nice. Coolridge. Cool runnings.
All right, Phil, what's in your koi pond?
Um,
What's in your koi pond?
carp?
As in fish?
Yes.
Decorating a fish pond with more fish.
Exactly.
It works though. Oh my gosh.
So we have cheeseburger,
Cheeseburger.
Calvin Coolidge,
Yep.
and
Calvin Cool Ranch.
carp.
Cheeseburger.
You know, I'm all for the live playing the koi pond thing, so I'm giving the point to Calvin Coolidge.
Yay.
Nice catch.
Coolidge.
All right, we're moving into the round 2, double points.
I'm actually really disappointed there isn't a camera over here because that was a perfect catch. He was just like, it came right off the table. He was like, "Yep, I'm right there. I got it."
That was pretty
didn't
awesome.
even phase him. It was
It
just
was
like, I
awesome.
got it. All right, so in the future, scales have been outlawed, and you have to invent a new system to weigh the fish in your koi pond. What is the name of your system, and how does it work? So what would you name your new system of weighing
Wait,
fish?
are you talking about like a unit?
Yes. No.
Like a unit of measurement, or are we talking like a device?
A
A
device.
device.
A device.
All right.
You
You want to
got
know
it?
what mine is?
We'll start with Chris. Yeah.
Mine is called the Collin Seriously. And I say that because Colin gave me a list where the 5th category was sports personalities.
Oh yeah, I had sports equipment.
I gave
on
it to you ahead of time. You can
So-
start.
Well, yeah. So no, this is where I thought, because like I can see Chris's answers. I thought we had the same list because my number 5 was give me a second. My number 5 was athletes, and I'm like,
And I had
dude, I don't freaking care.
and I had sports
So I
equipment.
filled it in with Colin Seriously.
Yeah.
Starts with a C.
It starts
It
with a
does.
C.
That's true.
All right, so
Yeah.
Collin seriously is the system. Like,
Is
how
the
does it work?
system. So in this system, Colin is in the koi pond, and he's one of the historical figure from the future.
Mm.
We're gonna say you become famous. You're famous because of because you're a unit of measurement now,
Oh.
and so you have like your hands out, and then you put the fish in there, and then you're like,
Whoa, seriously?
and basically, if you put fish in Colin's hand, he'll probably make a joke or a comment. You put more fish in his hand, he starts becoming more serious as the weight becomes heavy and he's having to focus. So that's the deal. Is
God.
how serious his conversation is means it's a higher weight.
There we go.
Wow.
That's actually pretty solid defense.
Totally made that up right now on the spot.
That was the goal. Yeah. All right, Cindy.
My device. I don't know. This is tough.
That doesn't start with C.
This is really tough.
We'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Phil.
So my device for measuring the weight of the koi is a cutting torch, because we don't care how much they weigh. We're hungry,
And when
we're
we're
gonna,
hungry,
we're gonna fry them up right there while we're cutting them up.
How much does it weigh? It weighs enough.
It weighs enough. You can turn that into a fish stick. Nuh-uh, man. This right here, that's nice enough style fish. You can turn it into a fish style nugget type chunklet.
you got your sushis and your sashimis.
Sushis and sashimis.
All right. My device
Mm-hmm.
for weighing the koi is cheating. Because
Unbeknownst
it
to all
doesn't
of us,
really matter.
underneath all of their fins, it's got their weight stamped in right there.
Ah.
So she's cheating. That's what she's doing.
You don't need to know, because who cares? So you could just make it up and no one would be the wiser.
You know, that is a good point. Why do you need to weigh the fish in
Right,
your
what
pond?
does it matter? They're just fish in the pond, and even if you plan to harvest them to eat them for some bizarre reason, who cares how much it weighs? Just eat the darn thing.
All right, so we have cheating, Collin seriously, and
Cutting torch.
Cutting torch. I was so rooting for the Collin seriously thing just because you were so it fits so thematically. I'm actually going to break a rule and I'm going to cheat myself and give you both half of the point.
Wow.
So
Yay.
1 point to each of you. Sorry, Phil.
Well, I mean, you should know better. Cheating usually wins when it comes to games for us.
All right. So next up, we're getting into word slam family stuff.
Right.
I'm playing off of family for this. So some relatives are difficult to pin down just how they're related to you by the names. I'm thinking of like second and third cousins, once, twice removed. Some people think they know the system, but I don't think they really do. And those that tell me you do not. I'm sticking with that answer.
There's a chart that I found online.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
we've
don't know
seen
what
one too.
once removed is?
Can you just, okay?
Just be cool.
Just be cool once, okay? So, I want an easier way to say it. What do I call my dog's mother's owner's father? What do I call that person?
Chuck.
Did you have that down?
Yeah.
Chuck.
You had TV shows in there.
I didn't actually look at the list.
And what does it matter how he's related to you? His name's Chuck. You call him Chuck. You don't call him what you just said. He's going to be like, that's not my name, all right? My name is Chuck.
It's like, what is it? Family Man, the Nicolas Cage movie.
Sure.
Like, the guy calls him Jack. He's like, how'd you know my name was Jack? I call all you guys Jack. All right. Philip. All right, Cindy.
Chester Cheetah.
Chester Cheetah.
Because
Was it
Cheetos.
Was it like pop culture icon? Was that what your
No, it was
Mascot.
food
no,
mascot?
it was fictional character.
Now it's like the can we get points if we guess what category they named their answer came from?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you will get props
Yeah.
points.
Chester Cheetah because Cheetos.
And Philip
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain.
Too bad it's not chambermaid.
Well, it was
Ew. Your
yeah.
family members?
Right.
What? What?
It was athlete, so it was Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. He is my chambermaid.
My word.
That's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
So we have
That was a good
Chester
show.
Cheetah, which in regular categories would be 2 points. Chamberlain.
Hey, then I would have gotten 2 points for Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah, that's true.
Coolidge.
Coolidge.
I think it's so funny.
And we have Chamberlain and
Chuck.
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 Cool Whip.
Cool.
His name is Chuck.
No. I know
Uh-huh.
exactly what you call the guy.
What's that?
Hey, quit letting your dog poop in my yard.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give it to Chuck, actually.
Yay!
Is it because of the short skirt and the long jacket?
Ba-da-da-da.
Oh, I thought he was going to finish it.
No, we just had to.
Okay.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Oh my word.
All right. People fight about the smallest things as worlds collide over a holiday meal. You are going to introduce a new problem resolution space for people to work out their issues. I want to know what you've decided to call this space. So, like, you designated like a corner of the house as like this problem resolution zone, and you are going to say, okay, you all need to go to whatever this place is called.
All right, I think I have to go last because I've gone first a couple
All right,
times.
Cindy. Yes.
Carson City. Because it's the place where duels happen.
I mean, do we even
Get
need
out.
do we need to give answers?
No, we know.
So don't
He
waste your good
wins.
ones. This is the
Like, I'm losing anyway.
The
This
best
is our dump answer.
the
That's it.
best-
dump
Dump stat.
answer. Dump stat.
the best thing about this is a legitimate answer to my category, which was capitals. Because Carson City is the capital of Nevada. Bam!
Ow.
That was a loud bam.
Oh, sorry.
Really?
Sorry, guys.
All right, Emerald.
All right, Philip.
Catalytic converter.
Oh my god.
Y'all need to go to the catalytic converter.
Y'all need to go to the catalytic converter.
Oh my gosh.
It does sound kind of resolution-y, actually.
It does. And it also has the added effect of on your vehicle, it takes a lot of the bad stuff in the exhaust gases and just sucks it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it still pumps out exhaust gas, but
Stupid.
whatever.
That's
Hey,
a stupid answer.
hey. Shut up.
All right.
All right, you ready for
I like
mine?
Do it.
Continents.
Continents.
As in, I'm done with y'all's mess. You need to go another continent away
Oh my god.
because I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Cindy.
I want to see your
I'm
list
sorry,
because I think
Cindy.
we had some of the
Duels
same
happen.
answers.
I know, but I'm talking about resolutions. I know a duel it produces a result, but it's not a resolution.
It can
I
be.
mean, it's a
So I'm
permanent
going,
resolution.
I'm going with the catalytic converter.
Oh.
so much.
Now,
Wasted that answer.
so the category for that was objects in ocean.
Oh, objects
So
in
I
the
said
ocean.
continents.
Okay,
Nice.
because I have.
Carp.
What do you find on a map?
All right. Ready for the last one?
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is a
You
two-part
jerk.
question.
Two-parter.
Okay. So we all know. So this doesn't deal with any particular game we talked about today. We all know I love a Western game.
You used the wrong.
Yeah, we're done.
Don't worry. You weren't going to be able to use it for this. Now I need another one, but it needs a solid hero or villain in it. Who would be the main character in the game, and what would be their weapon of choice in the Old West?
So we need. Oh wait.
It's that you need two answers for this.
So this is. We're talking like
Okay.
a show, or are we talking like a board game, or
It's a board game.
It's a board game.
Okay, well you're talking about hero. I was
There's a main character.
Okay.
That,
Oh,
you know,
like what is your hero?
gotcha.
Yeah.
I got it. But I went first last time.
let's go with Phil. So, who would be your main character in the game,
The main character
in this Western game?
would be a chicken.
Now, does the chicken have a 10-gallon hat?
No, the chicken only has a 7-gallon hat.
Is this an anthropomorphic chicken or just a chicken?
It is a properly proportioned but man-sized chicken.
Ah, so it's like a chocobo.
So it's
Yes.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Ah, yeah.
I say.
I say, hey there, boy.
Does the chicken have a catchphrase then?
The chicken does not have a catchphrase.
Okay.
Call me Chuck.
Chuck the chicken.
Chuck the chicken.
Too bad I didn't save
That's
Chester
too close to
cheating.
something else. So,
But they
I did it. I killed him.
that just happened.
The king is
Wow.
dead. The witch is dead.
And we all knew it was going to be about westerns.
It's okay. But the chicken does have this weird ability to summon more chickens if you punch him enough times.
Ah.
Is that your weapon?
No.
Oh.
Are we going to do the weapon second?
Yeah, we're going to do the weapon
Oh,
segment.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, Cindy, what would be your hero/villain?
Cosmo Kramer.
Well, the first name starts with C, so yeah. So it
Well,
works.
I have Cosmo written,
Yeah.
and so I'm just making it. Yeah, Cosmo Kramer.
Is there a catchphrase?
Uh.
Giddy up.
Oh yeah, giddy up. However he says it. I know he does the hand thing though.
Giddy up.
There you go. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
My hero is actually a heroine,
Oh, okay.
and it's Charlotte,
Ah.
because there ain't enough westerns that have female leads.
This is true.
So
Hmm.
there you go.
That's very true.
It's 2019.
I thought it was pretty bomb that in Cowboys and Aliens,
Mm-hmm.
that one lady that was in it.
Who saw Cowboys and Aliens?
I did.
I saw it on
Nope.
TV.
Actually, I made a joke, but we recorded a podcast a long time ago about it. But okay,
Okay.
I did see it in theaters.
I saw it on Blu-ray.
I saw it in theaters. I saw a western before Colin did. I
And
just
you
liked
paid.
it. Did everybody hear that?
You paid more money
you
than made
realize
to see
that
it too.
westerns are his theme for board games, not for anything else,
Hey,
right?
hey. Let
Although
Chris,
he likes books.
Hey,
he
let
does like
Chris
Western
have this
books.
victory. Jeez.
Sorry.
You and your Crocs. It's okay. It's
So,
okay.
What was yours again?
Cosmo Kramer.
Cosmo Kramer. Giddy up. That actually kind of works in the Western setting.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Is it being too like?
Is he going to turn a 4-lane highway into a 2-lane highway?
This is so luxurious.
Ow.
Zachary says, "How dare you use logic?"
I love Cosmo. He's hilarious.
So
Kramer's the best.
I want. Don't do that.
Look,
Don't do that.
she's like, I know I won. You better give me my points.
That's why he's like.
Give me my points.
That's why he's contemplating, because he doesn't want you guys to think he's playing favorites.
So, the giddy up catchphrase. I came up with that, so I can't quite give you that credit. So I'm sorry for that. The chicken doesn't have a serious woman that doesn't have a catchphrase either.
Sure.
So I've decided maybe I should keep these points.
Oh.
No. I'm going to stop.
I thought you were handing them
I
to
am
me.
waving my hand ambiguously.
Fine.
But yes, I'm going to give them to Cindy.
Thank you.
How many points does everyone have?
I have 4.
4.
3.
Okay, good. Everyone's still in the running. All right, awesome. That's how I planned it. All right, so were all these heroes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, mine's a hero.
Can you picture Kramer as a villain?
No, not at all. He'd be the worst villain ever.
If you watch certain
Dun,
videos
dun,
on
dun, dun,
I mean,
I'm talking about the character, not the actor.
Not the actor.
no, yes, the character leaves half a can of soda in a fridge, okay?
No, that's your half.
Like, no, it's already been opened.
You know the sound a can of soda makes when you open it? That's the sound of you buying a whole can of soda.
I love that show so much.
All right. So, this character that you've come up with, what would be their weapon of choice in the Old West? Let's go to Cindy first again.
Cannibalism.
All right. That's our show. Good night.
Yeah, like this show, you should watch. You should go to board. Jeez, that went dark.
I'm sorry. I don't know. So maybe he wouldn't be a hero if that's the case.
Those points were premature. Okay, just throwing that out there.
Can I change my answer?
Really?
Nope,
Relinquish your
too
points.
I'm
late.
changing my answer.
Nope, it's
My
already been
answer-
recorded.
My
I'm
answer
sorry,
is
we
now,
have to accept your first answer.
My
As
answer,
your final response.
my-
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
My answer is camera. His weapon of choice would be a camera.
That's even worse.
He just has to stand still in front of it for like
Yeah,
60
But no, it's a special camera. It's a futuristic camera that when you take a picture, it shoots bullets.
That was in a Jackie Chan spy movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Who am I?
Because he went to take a picture, and the girl was like, no,
Yeah.
not that camera.
This one's out of film anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a camera that shoots bullets.
Okay. And cannibalism.
No, no.
Cannibal bullets.
No, it's not.
It's like a bullet bill, yeah.
Oh my word. A camera that shoots bullets.
All right. Let's go over to Philip.
The chicken's weapon of choice
Mm-hmm.
is a chair.
What?
Just
That's actually a
like
good
a
weapon.
wrestling kind of thing, a folding chair.
No, like a chair we're sitting in right now.
Oh, okay. So a non-folding chair.
That's a good weapon. Those things are hard. And then when the legs break off, especially if they're wooden, you can use them as like daggers.
Clubs and stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put some nails in them.
It's a multi-purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And that like
Jeez.
she's just so buff that she just like kicks the shays at people, but Philip had to go and say chair. That's too close. And then I was thinking about saying, because I have Coke on here, I was thinking about like maybe it's like a Popeye thing where she like.
Oh yeah, she buffs up when she drinks a
But
Coke.
then Cindy had to go dark with cannibalism. No. Do you? I'm gonna reference the horrible movie Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Do you remember when Poison Ivy had the little locket and
Her-
she like
yeah,
opened
sure.
up and
her
then
powder. Yeah.
yeah. So it's that, but with like cocaine in the face, and it's like ah, and then they get all discombobulated. Problem
Because
solved.
they're high.
Exactly.
Wow.
I'm not sure I understand that.
I'm not paying attention.
So, what are you doing? And why are you doing it now?
I'm getting a
In the
T-shirts are
hardcore
nice.
West with cannibal bullets, you got to use cocaine as your weapon.
So we have cocaine,
6-foot tall chickens.
a chair,
Yes.
and
A camera-
cannibalistic camera bullets.
Cannibalistic camera bullets.
Fine.
That's 2 C's. You got so
Cannibalistic camera cartridges. Because a bullet, you can call it a cartridge.
no, call them shells,
That's right, shell.
but with a C.
Jeez.
Shells. So we're saying,
All right, what is it?
you know what, I'm gonna go with the chair,
Yeah, all right, the chair.
That's a very good answer.
which makes Philip the winner,
Yay!
I'm the wiener.
Boo.
which shows my unbiasedness. Yay!
Yeah, whatever.
You're the pity winner.
He
Yeah.
didn't choose me for Carson City, so yeah, whatever. There's definitely not favoritism here
Well, here's
I
your
was pan-
participation trophy.
Oh.
because I was pandering. But then that would tie me with Philip. So what's the tiebreaker?
Somebody is sleeping on the couch
No,
tonight.
No, I can't.
and
Sleep.
it's not me.
I can't sleep without him.
Oh, that's so adorable.
I can't. I get sad.
You guys okay?
What?
All right,
Oh, yeah,
I think
that's a
it's
little-
time to roll that beautiful bean footage. That's all we got this week.
All right. If you like this show, you should check out boardsandswords.com to see our other show, The Dirtbags of Holding, where we play.
Plie. Oh, you're doing ballet now.
Where we play the best RPGs in the worst way possible.
And talk about them.
Follow us on Instagram at Boards and Swords Pod or on Facebook at facebook.com/boardsandswordspod. You should also follow our individual accounts. I'm Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am callcase196 on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Chris the Prof on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am Phil the Dirtbag on Twitter.
This podcast is also a part of the Dice Tower Network, and for other great gaming podcasts, you can check out dicetowernetwork.com. Also, Cool Stuff Inc. does a lot to support the network, and you can say thanks by checking out their great deals over at coolstuffinc.com.
Lastly, thanks to Easy Roller Dice for sponsoring this episode. Make sure you go check out their site, easyrollerdice.com. And remember that we would love your support. Go to Patreon. We're like halfway to the first goal. So we can't do that without your support. But in the meantime, thank you for listening. But remember that every gamer has a story. And
Cindy cheats.
Cindy cheats, does. She does cheat.
I just panned.
Hey, those both start with C.
Whatever.
Good.
I am stunned and amazed at that. So I feel like, do we need to have like a special? Dude, we can either leave this out or you can include it in there.
What's up?
Do we want to have? Because I mean, it is almost 10 years to the date. I just have to find it on here.
What, like play the intro to an episode?
Hold on, because I have everything in my OneDrive now.
I listened to all my little sound bites that I made for that show recently. And I was like, such good sound bites.
Oh yeah, they were fun.
Who wants to hear it? There's still people in the chat?
There we go.
Let us know.
There we go. There we go. Fine. Oh, I've heard. So this stuff shuffles on. Occasionally, it'll shuffle onto my if I'm listening to Google because it's all listed in my Google stuff. Every time I have to like hit, like I don't want to hear this.
I have not listened to it in several years.
This is bad.
You listen to
I just want to say
no
that
Okay.
this is gonna sound weird, but I sound beardless. But just my voice sounds different.
Will we be able to hear
Okay.
it in our headphones?
No, you won't because this is. Hey,
Yeah.
give me that. Give me that cord.
Oh,
Is that cord gonna reach? No, that cord's not gonna reach.
Yeah, we'll make it reach.
We go, yeah.
yeah.
We gonna learn
Yeah,
it
your
there.
iPad is movable.
No, it's not. Stop using logic.
Pop, 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 pop. Ooh. Sorry.
How loud this is gonna be. God. So this is a podcast that Collin and I did 10 years ago.
I guessed it on an episode.
What the heck? I hit play.
Was it not you? It was Jason that.
Okay, so this time it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, hear that echo.
See, this is my point again. We're just going to be sitting here for like 30 minutes sound talking beardless? like, so now what? What do we say?
We sound the same.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, right. Let's just get it started. It's showtime.
Okay.
That was fake outrage, by the way. I thought this would be
Is
cool.
it better to be feared or respected? And I say, is it too much to ask for both?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
That's still my favorite part of the show is the intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You made that, right?
the fleas off a dog's back at 500 yards, cannon, and it's pointed straight in your head.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Welcome to I'd Quote That. I'm the professor, and I'm one of your hosts, and here with me is my friend, the Doc.
Hi.
You
This
do
is a
sound
podcast
different.
where we talk about
See?
movies,
You
TV
do.
shows, and much more. Specifically, by the way, this was also we were too afraid to say our actual names.
Well,
Yeah.
you were.
We, as in you.
That was whatever. Yeah, so that's where we went with the Doc and Professor. Ugh.
Well, I've
That's
got
so
to pick.
bad.
I've somewhere.
We
It's
talk about the special
probably-
lines that we like to remember and joke
probably
about later
hidden
when
all the way in
we
my
just insert
Facebook
them randomly into
pictures
things.
Of me
of
as
you
Doc Brown.
with
yeah.
like the hair. Just,
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Forty.
It's so bad. You can share lines from your life with us as well.
'Cause we
You
thought
can either
people would
email
actually
us
listen.
at I'd quote that at gmail.com, or we got a phone number
I
on our
downloaded them all.
website,
Yeah.
I'dquotethat.com.
Never listened to an ever episode.
Anyways,
You're going to read the number?
I can. If you want. Fine. 206.
We haven't even
337.
done
25.
anything yet, but we're already like, hey, you can contact us.
All right.
Well, that was good. That's show one. Well, not over yet, but
I still
other
use
stuff
that joke
first.
every now and then.
Oh,
All right, and
right.
good night.
No, I think we should just, pull Seinfeld and you just stop early. Like, good night, everyone. This is where I get off.
All right, retiring on top.
Ugh.
And there's plenty more where that came
There's
from.
tons more where that came from.
I think we did a total of 30 episodes.
Yeah, I think it was 29 to be exact.
Okay.
Oh, you want
my
to know what's
gosh.
worse? You want to know what's worse than that?
Hmm.
The podcast I did by myself.
What?
I'm not even gonna play that. That's the
Well, the
original.
funny thing is, I remember the phone number thing because, like, you guys were really big into listening to the Nobody's Listening,
Yeah,
and they had the phone
Yeah.
yeah.
number, and
But yeah,
people call and leave voicemails.
it's really true, Zach. Yeah, it sounds like kind of NPR. I mean, I still
That's what I
still
thought.
sound NPR, but
You
just
yeah.
a better version of NPR.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, Chris sounds like some sort of like
So
calming, like radio.
actually, it kind of sounds like
host.
college radio. So yeah, hang on, let me.
Well,
get
that
the
wasn't
song here.
right after college, so.
Yeah, let me get.
It was. You're right.
Oh,
we
I need
have
it.
3
That's
hours of
2009.
chanting.
So, like, I even have stuff on here, like the episodes of the podcast I did with Chloe when she was
Aw,
like 6.
Yeah.
Video game, buddy. Video game, buddy.
Hey there, everybody! Welcome to a brand new pod. See, that's bearded Chris. I'm pretty sure that's bearded Chris.
I think that was bearded Chris. Yeah.
She sounds so cute.
I gotta show this to her.
She's gonna hate you.
She's gonna hate me.
No, wait,
She's a teenager. She's gonna
Wait.
hate it.
wait. What are they using on the TV right now? Just send it up there.
Oh my word.
You joke.
Is he? He's
Right?
doing it.
He's doing it because yeah.
Oh my word.
I gotta pull up the.
I
actual-
love that every single one of your episodes was a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
we-
the
that was
titles,
that was on
yeah.
purpose, and then we actually made it a contest for a while. And nobody could get it until we started dropping clues.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were so smart.
But you did have listeners. I mean, it was people you knew, but
Yeah.
you did
I
have
thought that
listeners.
the titles were really creative. I thought.
I love how the second episode we did Eagle Eye, and then we're like, this works better if we just do comedies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
there
because
we go.
quoting it was difficult. That
Well,
was,
it's
Funny,
just
funny
that
lines.
Yeah.
yeah.
Da-da-da. I gotta pull up that. All right, here we go.
Take off one ear so I can hear the thing change.
You won't hear it.
We won't hear the.
The only sad
outrage.
part is it might do the thing where it's like, put the code on here that's in your phone.
Ah. probably just rolling their eyes.
Probably.
Oh my word.
So yeah, there's there's a ton of stuff here. All right, I think that's a good place for me to start off the Twitch stream. Thanks everybody
Thanks
who was
for hanging
watching.
out.
Bye.